Welcome back to Trust Your Eyes. I hope you all had a great Christmas and are having a good time over the holiday period. In today's show, we'll go over some comments Patrick Dangerfield made about his teammate Tom Stewart, our expectations for Dustin Martin in 2024, big deal or small deal, and finish off with the debate around the Northern States Academy selections. So let's get into it. Some news at the Cattery was that Vice Captain Tom Stewart has signed a 3-year contract extension until the end of 2027. Following this, teammate Patrick Dangerfield said he is easily the best defender in today's game and said he might be the best ever by the end of his contract. Is Dangerfield on the money here? You know, in these situations, it always seems like the teammates amp each other up, and that's fair enough, but Dangerfield's pretty much on the money here. I think Tom Stewart is definitely the best kind of medium to small defender, and it's not even close. You know, a guy like Starcevic can lock down really well, but the full skill set of Tom Stewart is quite remarkable. In the modern day, if we had a draft, I think there's only one guy I would take ahead, and that's probably Sam Taylor. It's simply because he's a lot bigger than Stewart. He can cover more space, take the key defender, and also intercept by marking and spoiling. I'll give you Tom Stewart can rebound better. And a guy like Sicily, you know, Darcy Moore, all those guys are around Stewart's range, but I think Sam Taylor is number one currently. I don't really like comparing all time because we got guys like Matthew Scarlett, Brian Lake, Dustin Fletcher, Stephen Silvani, and Glenn Archer. But again, all their roles are kind of different, and it's just hard to compare. So what I'll tell you later is a top 5 list of the best defenders since Stewart has been in the league. Now, Stewart is number 2 on that list, but we'll get back to it because I do want to speak on kind of Tom Stewart's journey, which is remarkable. Do you realize in 2012 and 2013, he won back-to-back premierships at South Barwon in the Geelong League, not even the VFL. And the only reason he was really discovered was because in 2013, Matthew Scarlett was a playing coach. And he said, hey, this Tom Stewart kid, he was a kid back then, can play. So he ends up in Geelong's VFL program and has a good 2016. So we're skipping forward a few years. But it wasn't that good because he was picked up at pick 40. So he wasn't even a first couple round, a round 1 or round 2 option. So Geelong, diamond in the rough, the ultimate one, picked him up. His first season, he averaged about 15 touches a game and was good. But since then, it's been 5 All-Australians in the past 6 years, and he's averaged 20 disposals every one of those years, if we count the COVID numbers to equate normal numbers. And he did miss out All-Australian in 2020. That's the only year. And I have a feeling it's because he missed a few games during that season. It was a shortened season as well. But if he had played every game, there's no doubt he probably would have been in the team. And he did make the squad anyway. So back to the top 5 list. I'll quickly give it to you because there is only one man ahead of him, and I'll give a couple reasons why. But Dylan Grimes at 5, Stephen May at 4, Alex Rance 3, Tom Stewart at number 2, and the number 1 defender since Stewart's time in the league, which is 2017, is Jeremy McGovern. Now, this is the main reason why. It's peak performance. Now, a quick aside, if Stewart gets another 2 or 3 All-Australians, I'll probably have to put him ahead of McGovern on this list because the durability and the longevity will just kind of equate and override McGovern's peak performance. But between 2016 and 2018, McGovern led the league in average intercept marks per game at roughly 3.5. And in 2019, he was second. But in that 2019 year, he was first for intercept possessions per game. So he made up for it. It's just remarkable that the game planning that went in to stop him, and he still led the league basically for 4 years in intercept mark. And it's the most important thing defenders really do now because you obviously stop the opposition, but intercept marking, you can springboard and attack. And we saw it in the 2018 grand final. So that's the main reason I've got him ahead, is just that peak performance I think was a bit better than Tom Stewart's. But we'll see if Stewart can surpass him getting another couple All-Australians because he does have 2 best and fairest as well, Stewart. But remarkable player, joy to watch, so balanced, so smart. And I think it will continue on. And Well done to Geelong for finding another diamond in the rough. But let me know where you think Tom Stewart ranks, either in the modern day greats or all time. If he's kind of top 5 on your all time list, that wouldn't surprise me. So let me know. And up next, the expectations for Dustin Martin in 2024. So moving on, it caught my eye that Jaden Short and Tigers assistant Chris Newman were heaping a whole lot of praise on Dustin Martin. Apparently, he is setting all sorts of PBs in the pre-season. So what are the expectations for Dusty in 2024? Now, it's kind of hard to judge where Martin is at in 2024 and the Tigers, because they're not really expected to challenge or be a top 4 side, and Martin's 33 next year and clearly in the back half of his career. But I think we should just really savour and enjoy watching one of the last true champions in the game. That term gets thrown around a lot, but he really is the definition of it. 3 premierships and 3 Norm Smith medals to go alongside, an array of outstanding finals performances and moments. And it looked like he might retire at the end of 2021 if we go back a couple of years ago. He had that kidney injury by Mitch Robinson. They collided and he missed the last couple months of that year. And obviously his father passed away in December that year. And just personally, I thought he was done after that. I thought he would retire because the last mission he wanted to accomplish in his football career was to win a premiership in front of his father. And because of his passing, he couldn't do that. So I didn't think he'd come back, but obviously his passion and hunger was still there, because after he took some leave, he did return in 2022 for a bit, and then he did his hamstring. And last year was a big bounce back. He got in the All-Australian squad. I didn't think he deserved to be in the last team, because he did start the season pretty slow. His kind of first month and a half, wasn't outstanding. It was still solid. But the back end, some of these numbers, in round 24, he had 33 and a goal. Round 23, he had 31 and 3 goals. And in round 19, he had 24 and 2 goals. And kind of for the last 2.5 months, he basically averaged well over 20 touches and a couple goals a game, that's prime Martin numbers. And that's really spectacular, especially for a player who was situated forward. So for his expectations in an all-Australian sense, if he plays the same role as he did last year, which was pretty much predominantly forward, because his centre bounces for the season were just at 18%, so he really wasn't playing much midfield time, I'll give him a 50% chance to get in the All-Australian team next year if he plays that role. And I'm kind of praying that we get to see a bit of a throwback Dusty, and hopefully his centre bounces can be in the 70 or 80% like it was back in 2017. And that's just a personal thing, because I would love to see him in that role, fending off people everywhere over the field, not just the forward half. And if he played that role, I would boost that up to 80%. If he was a 90% midfielder, I reckon he would be an incredibly high chance to be in the All-Australian team. But interviews with kind of the new coach, Adam Muse, Chris Newman and other people, seems like his role is going to stay the same. So overall, I expect him to put up a little better numbers compared to last season, and I'll give him a 50% chance to be in the All-Australian team. So let me know what your expectations for Dusty are. And again, hopefully he can play some great football and we can enjoy watching one of the last champions currently in our game. This is Big Deal or Small Deal. In this segment, we'll go through some rapid fire topics and I'll tell you if they're a big or small deal. So let's start. Joel Selwood and Aaron Phillips joined the AFL operations. Is this a big or small deal? This is a big deal. Anytime you can get ex-AFL players, and especially the caliber like Selwood and Phillips, into the operations of the AFL, the more perspective you get, the better it is for the players and just the AFL community. So this is great, and it's a big deal. St Kilda opened talks with Matthias Philippou to sign him beyond 2024. Is this a big or a small deal? This is a big deal. The kid last year showed plenty of talent. He was a great pickup in the draft. He has Bontempelli type qualities, big, strong midfielder. He's playing forward right now, but he's going to be a very good player. And this is a big deal for St Kilda, because any young talent is valuable and they have plenty, and he's a big part of it. So this is a big deal. Collingwood captain Darcy Moore recently had minor wrist surgery. He'll be back on January 11 to join training. Is this a big or small deal. This is really a minuscule deal. He's the ultimate professional, captain of the club for a reason. He's already had the surgery, so he'll be back. And it's actually a good sign for Collingwood because obviously McStay and Braden Maynard are the two that are out currently, and the rest of them seem to be getting healthy. So this is a small deal, and it's good news for Collingwood. Finally, Peter Sumich ripped Adam Simpson for missing Eagles pre-season for the last 2 weeks as he was spending time with the Philadelphia Eagles. Is it a big deal he missed 2 weeks? Sumich is overreacting massively to this. This is only a good thing for Adam Simpson, who needs all the time off he can get. And he seems in Philadelphia, they're doing well in the NFL right now. So if he can gain a little bit of wisdom and just take a big deep breath from a big year, this is great. You're not really doing much at this stage of the preseason. It's basically fitness, maybe some ball drills. So he'll be back refreshed, ready to go, maybe with some new ideas. So this is a great idea, and Sumich is way overreacting. This is a small deal. And in the last segment for today's show, Sydney chairman Andrew Pridham said he would swap the Swans academy privileges for 18 games in Sydney any day. This was sparked over debate around the Northern States academies. Are you buying what Pridham is saying? There is no way I am buying what Pridham is saying with regards to Sydney's academies versus home games. So if we gave Sydney the option right now, we get to take all your academy players that you have right now and future ones for 18 games in Sydney or vice versa. I would be shocked beyond words if they took the home games. This is the reason why. They've made 4 grand finals since 2012. So all the travelling hasn't affected them that much because it's basically a grand final 1 in 3 years. And they've won 1. They have lost 3 of them. But I don't think that's due to the travelling, really. So it's very interesting. And if we look at their academy players, Callum Mills is captain, Isaac Heaney, the Lizard Nick Blakey, Errol Goulden, Braden Campbell, and Sam Wicks. That's a lot of starters. Are you going to trade them away to have 18 games in Sydney when you basically make a grand final once every 3 years from 2012? I highly doubt so. But I do get why Pridham is saying this, because they have been copying a lot, them, Brisbane, Gold Coast, GWS, for their academies, and I will defend them in this stance on their academies. You have to put the AFL cap on. They want to spread the game in New South Wales and Queensland. This is one of the best ways to do it. You get young kids seeing, people who grew up in their state and areas play AFL, and it inspires them to do so. And these high-functioning talent pathways clearly are working, and they're very effective. I get why some Victorian clubs and fans aren't that happy about it, but the draft in itself really isn't that equal when we look at father-sons and things like that. So I get what Pridham is saying. I definitely don't buy it. I think if we gave him the choice, he would pick the academy players over the Sydney home games. Once again, let me know what you think about the situation, what you would pick. And thank you again for watching Trust Your Eyes. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. I'll see you all very soon. And once again, any feedback would be greatly appreciated if you have any. So thank you, and I'll see you again very, very soon.